channel, fellow farmers. Farmer Murphy here. We are back on Elm Creek on our test map, and again we're looking at field 45 where I did my yield test video the other day. And during that video I was unable to get the yield bonus that Giants had claimed we should get for rolling in the rocks. I'd watched another YouTuber do some yield testing, and they were having the same difficulty, and someone had commented that you need to roll the field after you seed, not before like I was doing. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to put that to the test and make sure that that is accurate. So we are at our test field, and as we started last time, there's been nothing done to this field. It's in the worst possible condition, and we know from the previous test video that if we were to plant this and harvest this field in this condition, that we would get 3,318 liters. So we're going to start this test by cultivating this field, and I'm going to use this Pottinger disc harrow to do it. You could also use a shallow cultivator, and you will get a texture that looks like this. Quite a bit different than what we saw on FS19 for cultivated. If you were to use a deep cultivator, then you would get a texture similar to what we had on FS19. So I'm going to go ahead and finish disking up this field, and then I'm going to plant it with barley, and I will get back to you when we're done that. Okay, I'm back, and you can see that the field is cultivated and seeded, and also that I've done nothing else to the field. Still requires liming and plowing. I have the disc, or the roller I should say, set up here. We'll go ahead and we'll start rolling this, and we can take a look at what that texture looks like if you haven't seen it before. It is a pretty significant change actually. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to roll this field, and then I will advance through time for a few months, and I will bring you back when we have the field ready to harvest. I just thought I'd bring you back in quick before I fast forwarded time, just to show you that I did indeed roll the entire field. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward to harvest, and we'll see what our result is. Well, we're back, and we have a ready to harvest field of barley here. You can see that we have 100% weeds. There's been no fertilizer added. Still needs liming and plowing. So the only thing that we've done to this field, other than our base, is to roll it after we seeded it. So let's jump in our very conveniently placed harvester here and see what happens. Just to remind you that if we had harvested this field without doing any improvements whatsoever, our yield would have been 3,318 liters. And there we have it, 3,484, which, according to my calculations, is exactly a 5% yield increase. So rolling immediately after seeding, once you've cultivated or used a shallow cultivator, will give you a 5% bonus. I was originally going to sign off and leave it at that, but I think we'll do one more thing. I'm going to prepare this field one more time, but this time I'm going to use a standard cultivator or a deep cultivator, which will leave visible rocks in the field. and we'll try rolling that in and see if we get the same results. So I'll pause you there. I'll make some setup changes and we'll come right back to you. So there's the field cultivated with a standard cultivator. Now you can see that we do have visible rocks here, but we are not going to roll them in at this point. I'm going to go ahead and seed this field with barley. I'll get the roller set up and I'll bring you back. So our field is now completely sown with barley. You can see those from this vantage point anyways, look like pretty good sized rocks. I'm curious if the roller will actually push those in and we'll have no more visible rocks in the field. I guess we'll know here in a minute. Because we did seed over that though, we do know from my test video I did the other day, planting on top of rocks, that there will be some additional damage. In that test it worked out to about 10%, but if we get 5% yield increase, should more than offset that. Well, no, it does appear that those rocks are indeed small enough that it can roll those in. I suspect some of the larger rocks that you would get if you were to plow subsoil or use a spader, we wouldn't be able to roll in, but those ones look like they're all disappearing. Neat. All right, I will get the rest of this field done and fast forward until harvest time, and we'll see what the result is. I suspect we are going to see that 5%, but we'll know for sure in a minute. All right, harvest time again, and you can see field's in the same condition it was for the previous harvest. So let's jump in our combine here and see what we end up with. Well, there we have it. Exactly the same. So it doesn't matter if there's visible rocks on the field or not, as long as you roll after you've seeded, after cultivating either with a shallow cultivation method or standard, you will see the yield. So if you're still watching and still with me, really appreciate it. If you got something useful out of this or enjoyed this, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're interested in seeing more of this type of content, and hit that notification bell so you know when it lands. But until next time, this is Farmer Murphy signing out.